Okay, this is the training for your MP70 Fair Play scoreboard controller. We'll go over a couple of basic functions and then we'll get into how to use the controller. It's very simple and user-friendly. Power button on the back, as you can see, on off. You'll have 4 inputs to plug into. 3 and 4 are for shot clocks. You will not have shot clocks with your scoreboard. So you can plug into either 1 or 2. Does not matter. You'll use the stereo jack cable that came with your new controller. Plug it into there on this end and plug it into your floor box or wall box connector on the other end. So we're going to go ahead and power the controller on. To start a new game, very simple. If we hold down the shift key, while I'm holding the shift key, everything that's green becomes live, just like a typewriter with upper and lower case. So right underneath the period button, you'll see the words new game. So if I hold down the shift key and push new game at the same time, it's going to ask me, new game, yes or no. Simply push yes. And your scoreboard should be set to start a new basketball game. We have 8 minutes on the clock. To start the clock, simply start the clock. As you can see on the readout, the clock is counting down. If I need to stop the clock, there we go. So we'll go ahead and start the clock again. The home team scored a basket, so this is real simple. Home score. If I push home score and +2, that is now on the scoreboard. The home score feature will stay live until I program something else. So let's say the visiting team now has scored and they made a 3-point basket. Visitor score +3. So now the score would be 3-2 on the scoreboard. Okay, let's say that the other referee has overruled that. The guy had his foot on the line. It's a 2-point. We're still in visitor score. So now I could just hit -1 and they've got 2 on the board. Home team fouls. If the clock, the visiting team or the home team created a foul, stop the clock. Home team foul +1. It's going to ask us for the player's number, 55 or whatever his number would be, and then push enter. On your scoreboard now, you'd have your foul information for player number 55, and that is stored in the controller for you. We go ahead and start the clock again. As you can see, home team foul is still live. Visiting team has now scored a basket. Everything is in the add mode. They now have 4 points. Possession. That's real simple. Once possession has been established after the opening tip, you just push the possession button and it'll go back and forth. Home, visitor, whoever you want to have possession. Visitor team fouls. Same thing, let's stop the clock. Visitor team fouls. +1, they're gonna ask the player number. Let's just say it was 23, enter. Now let's say the home team creates another foul. Home team foul, +1. It was the same player, number 55. As you can see now, 55 has 2 fouls. So it is continuing to update as you go. Once one of the teams gets into the bonus at 7 fouls, simply push the bonus button. Home bonus is now on. Visiting team gets into the bonus, push the visitor bonus button, and now they have the bonus on. Let's see here. Let's go stop the clock. Let's say they went to the free throw line. And the home scorer, he makes his free throw, +1. Up, somebody stepped in the lane, take it off. Reshoot it, +1, he's right back to where he was. Period, change the period. Period 1 to start, +1 now in period 2. If I need to reset the clock, right now as you see the clock is at 5:20 and counting, so let's stop that. Say the referee tells us to put 5 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock. Clock set right here. 0525, enter. Now the clock is reset at 5 minutes and 25 seconds, and we can go ahead and resume play. Let's go ahead and set the clock at 1 minute. 0, 1, enter. Start the clock. As you can see, we have 1/10 of a second counting down to the final minute. Beyond that, game ends. We want to start a next game. Shift, new game, yes or no. Push yes. We're right back to where we started. The score is 0-0. There's 8 minutes on the clock. Couple of things to just keep in mind. We'll go ahead and start the clock so I can show you something here. Let this count down, and we'll stop it at 7:55, 7:54. We shut it off. We're going to turn it back on. The memory will reset it right to wherever you left off. So, something to keep in mind. At the end of the game, the clock will be at 0. The horn will go off. It will run for a couple of seconds, and then it'll stop. If you want the horn to stop before the auto horn shuts off, you would simply hit the timeout button. That said, if you let it run all the way out, the horn stops after, I think it's 3 seconds roughly. It'll seem longer than that. And you were to shut the controller off without shutting the clock off here. So let me just show you. We're going to stop the clock. I'm going to reset the clock. Clock set. I'm going to put 3 seconds on the clock. Right, I see clock set. Oops. Okay, we have 3 seconds on the clock. If I were to turn the controller off now, as is, I come in tomorrow and turn it back on, the horn's gonna buzz immediately, okay? To stop the horn from buzzing, we stop the game clock. So make sure at the end of your game, you stop the game clock. And what I recommend you do at that point would be to go ahead and set it up for a new game anyways. New game, yes. Otherwise, you'll be calling Fair Play Service Department in panic mode that every time you turn the controller on, the horn's going off. Well, that's going to be because you left it at 0 time on the clock, and your time in button is in the on position. Beyond that, it's pretty simple. Just play with your new controller. You'll get it figured out pretty quick. If you have questions, you can always call our 800 number here in our office in California. Zoom that in. And we can answer any control questions over the phone for you. You have a 5-year warranty on your controller. And you have a CD-ROM or a thumb drive. I'm not sure what they're sending at this point. It might be a thumb drive now with your instruction manual on it. You can also find the complete instruction manual on the Fairplay website, www.fair, and then a dash or hyphen, play.com, just as you see it here, fair-play, www.fairplay.com, and you can download the instruction manual off the website. That's it for our scoreboard training. Thank you. Let us know if you have any questions.